Let go of that. You're pulling off all of the, oh, heck with it. You're turned on the flashers. How does a goat turn on flashers? How did you do that? Biggest concern is poor Johnny's truck over here. Everyone wants to come up and explore and see what they can do to help. Everyone loves to help. So it looks like we have some Mr. Huck wants to run the tractor. And these two over here, that would be Chip and Roxy, want to be the bucket operators. They just don't realize though that you operate the bucket from over there where Huck's at. Oh, it's obvious that there's another one who wants to join. Laverne wants to join the bucket crew and help supervise that. Now, Sissy is the one who's trying to help out with keep Johnny's truck safe. Yeah, Sissy, and then Pig Trudy. No, that's Pig Newton. Pig Newton has decided that, hey, get down. This really is a problem. This is a problem because I don't want it to pay for a paint job. Get down. Hey folks, Lester here. I am standing at our family's private cemetery here on Morrow Hill. And as of right now, the only people buried here are both sets of my grandparents. But unfortunately, we have a bad feeling about my Uncle Raleigh, and we don't think he's going to be able to pull through what he's dealing with right now. And so we're preparing, guys. We're preparing his place here. I also want to show you our little memorial garden, which is right here behind me. And I'm going to talk about a little job that we're going to do. I'm going to have some help doing. And it's going to really make both of these places a whole lot nicer. And so I'm going to flip the camera around over here and talk to you a little bit about it. And you guys stick with me today. And I think you will appreciate the video. And it should be enjoyable. So my Uncle Raleigh, when he was a lot healthier and able to move around a little bit, he came over and he put this stone, just a little piece of granite. And it's funny because he actually put his initials here. And the reason he did that is because he always said that this is a spot he wanted to be buried. He wanted to be buried right here. And so it's right over here beside his mom and dad, who we called Pops and Nanny. And that's fine. And so we are going to definitely adhere to Uncle Raleigh's wishes. It's a great, beautiful spot. I mean, this is all of his property over here. And he just has done a great job. There's his home. This is where our house is at in relation to everything. But there's always been one problem here in the cemetery, that we don't have running water. And so as you can see, looking around, we don't really have a whole lot of the typical flowers and plants that you might see at a cemetery or in a cemetery. We have it fenced off so no animals can get to it. But all of that's going to change. All of that's going to change. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Now I'm walking away from the cemetery over here to our little animal memorial. This is the place that we have little remembrances of all of the babies we've lost here over the years. And, you know, the lack of running water has always been an issue here as well. We've struggled like crazy to keep these plants, I don't know what you call those, to keep those alive. And we've never been able to really raise anything else to grow here. We've tried flowers, didn't work. We tried rose bushes, those are doing okay-ish, but we don't have running water. So we're having to bucket water over for anything. And so we really can't do a whole lot with this area without running water. And so all of that's going to change in the next couple of days. I spoke to that fella who did all of the plumbing for us whenever Trudy broke into my well house, broke all them pipes. And I told him about what I would like to do. So he's come by and he's measured everything out, and he gave me a price that I think is fair. And we're going to go ahead and have him come back out and get us running water here to our family cemetery and our memorial garden. Here. This morning I'm back working with our plumber, Johnny, from JAR Plumbing here in Plum Grove. He is come out to do us a really nice, big job. I would say a nice job. Hey, you got to leave his truck alone. This is Boy, they love your trucks, man. They love your trucks. Now, this over here is Wanda. You didn't meet her last time, Johnny. This is Wanda. You met Tina, but now Wanda's come over to do a little inspection and make sure that you're up to code on all of the OSHA guidelines and all. So today, Johnny's going to help us. We're going to run a really, really long 300-foot water line from this well all the way up to our memorial garden. You guys know that we have created a place up here. Let me walk up and talk about it. So it sounds foolish saying that we've had issues getting water over here, being we're right beside a pretty good sized pond. But we can't get anything to hardly grow. All of our flowers died last summer because we're having to bring water up in buckets. And so what we're going to do is we're going to run us a water line from the well house right there where the truck and tractor's parked. And we're going to run that all the way to our memorial garden. What that'll also allow us to do is have a water trough in case we ever need to have any animals contained into this particular pasture. So we are a little bit concerned about how much pressure we're going to have when you run a line that long. But Johnny knows a number of ways you can increase your pressure if it comes to that.
All right, so you should have about 1 foot 8 inches left. And
so
I got that measurement is when I drove down your driveway the other day, I marked my tire on my truck, and every rotation.
No, you did not. So he said he didn't measure it with the measuring tape like most folks. He put a mark on his tire and he drove down the driveway to measure it all out. But no, he measured very, very precise. That's what we're going to tie into the well right there. And we're going to run this stuff all the way down to the memorial garden. And I was saying that Johnny appreciates you guys putting those Google reviews.
I haven't had time to answer any of them yet. I think my wife may have answered a couple of them.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
No, well, the thing is, whenever, there are so many plumbers now in Plum Grove with all the new development. You got 30,000 folks living out there. And so Johnny knows that whenever someone goes to Google and search for a local plumber, you're going to have 100 people to choose from, if not more. But the thing is, when you guys go by and do a Google review, especially if it's a positive review, next time someone goes to Google plumber in Plum Grove, Texas, all of a sudden his name goes to the top of the list. And so that really, he's been a blessing to us doing all this and coming out on a weekend to work on that mess that Pig Trudy created. And so it's just a blessing to pay forward or pay back, if you will, in giving him those Google reviews. And if you guys have time to do that, I'll put the information on here and you guys go by and do that for us, please. The plan for today is Johnny's going to drill a hole into the metal, which goes right into our well house. That's where we're going to connect this wire, this line here. And then I'm going to back up the plow as close as I can to the barn. And we're going to try to plow a line that will, not require us to have to bring out one of those professional diggers. I don't mind doing that work. The tractor helps a whole lot. It would be a lot bigger line than what we need, but at the same time, it'll save us a chunk of money. Now, what I have to be careful for our field lines, they call them, I believe. Our field lines run right down towards the corner of where the ostrich is at down. So that's why Johnny kind of circled out wide and didn't run a straight line. So we'll deal with all of that. But my biggest concern is poor Johnny's truck over here. Everyone wants to come up and explore and see what they can do to help. Everyone loves to help. So it looks like we have some Mr. Huck wants to run the tractor. And these two over here, that would be Chip and Roxy, want to be the bucket operators. They just don't realize though that you operate the bucket from over there where Huck's at. It's obvious that there's another one who wants to join. Laverne wants to join the bucket crew and help supervise that. Now, Sissy is the one who's trying to help out with keep Johnny's truck safe. Yeah, Sissy, and then Pig Trudy. No, that's Pig Newton. Pig Newton has decided that, hey, get down. This really is a problem. This is a problem because I don't want it to pay for a paint job. Get down off the truck. I don't know where to put them. That's the problem. I don't have a, since we're using both pastures. Oh, you turned my flasher lights on. You gotta run my battery down, Huck. Let go of that. You're pulling off all of the, oh, heck with it. You're turned on the flashers. How does a goat turn on flashers? How did you do that?
Hey, Lester, that was a yellow breaker, right? With the yellow sticker on it?
I'll go do it, Johnny.
I just didn't know how much because of that long distance.
So that's good pressure then. Me and Johnny were talking. He was afraid of going as far as we traveled, how much pressure we were going to have. But that's actually really nice pressure.
Yeah.
And that'll be plenty to do what we need to do out here. And that's really good pressure, Johnny.
Yeah.
That's great. So our one, and this was my fault. This is not Johnny's. Johnny measured to the T, but whenever I made my trench, I kind of swung out a little bit too wide. And show him how short we were, Johnny. Johnny had measured and he had everything laid out, and then I get a look. Right there, guys, that's probably 3 feet. 3 foot, we're gonna put it right here on this post. But you know what? I says, that's not a big deal. That looks great, Johnny. We'll get that buried. That's good pressure, too.
Via my rotations of the wheel measurement.
Yeah, the rotation of the wheel measurement. Now, I'll tell you exactly what it was. Johnny had laid everything out, and it was precise. But then I got that tractor, and I started plowing this line. Now, of course, there's little things here and there. But no, what I did was, you can see where I swung out wide. I swung out wide to be able to make this gate. And when I swung out wide, that probably right through there is what we wanted. And that took all the slack out of it right there. And that made us with nothing to play with. I'm sorry, Johnny. But no, we're gonna put it on that post right there where he had it leaned. Mount it up there, cover this thing up, and we have us water now to our front pasture. All right, so I took my tractor bucket and I pretty much got all of the line filled, all the dirt that we had plowed out. Now I got the drag, and I put the drag over onto the smooth side, not the rake side, but the smooth side. I'm gonna go by and try to smooth all those clumps of dirt out now. This is called the harrow. All right, let's see what we can do here. I like this because you can drive like a bat out of hell. Because you're supposed to. Get away from his truck. All right, so you can see we've got the tractor already down through here and got all of our dirt spread. But if we're not careful, Pig Trudy there, or well, any pig really. Okay, so this is the harrow. I have the little rakes pointed upward. So all I'm gonna do now is go by and smooth all of this out. I'm gonna drive right down the middle of it. And you don't have to go slow here, folks. Several times. Excuse me, buddy. Sorry, Ernie. That stopped me from having fun, and he probably wants me to do some kind of work. Yes, sir.
Do you have a bit?
What kind of bit?
Phillips one?
Phillips, just regular Phillips. So he's lost the tip to his screwdriver, and I gotta go get him another tip. He's trying to finish up now. Excuse us, buddy. It's like it never happened. Almost. Like it almost never happened. I walk away for 30 seconds to get the guy a tip for his screw gun, and all of a sudden Mr. Huck now wants to drive the side-by-side. He's no longer in charge of the tractor. Now he wants to do the side-by-side. Get down, get down. Excuse me. All right. So you know this harrow, we use it for all kinds of stuff, not just smoothing out clumps of dirt out of our pasture. But I want you to notice something. When I've made lots of videos about this. There's some alpaca poop. Watch this. Where's it at? It's all gone now. It's all gone now. All gone. Move, hockeys. All right, so for the most part, you'll still be able to see a small little bit of a, you could tell there's been some digging there. But once we hit spring temperatures and our grass comes out nice and green, I was able to leave all the topsoil there on top. So we didn't remove any of the topsoil. What I did when I moved that plow and I pushed it all over with the tractor, we just pushed it right back on top. And so those roots will catch on and go. And so this is a job well done. Ringo, I need that bucket. And you'd be nice to Mr. Johnny. He's not quite done yet. He's still doing a couple of last minute jobs over there. And I'm afraid everyone's headed over to see what he's up to. See if he has any snacks. And who knows what else. Who knows what kind of war stories Johnny will be able to tell after this day. Seriously, who knows what kind of stories he'll be able to tell his friends when he leaves here. And I know the evidence will be all over his truck. Not you, baby, you're an angel. All right, and there she goes. That puts us a whole lot closer to our family cemetery. I mean, that's a water hose distance, if anything. And it also allows us to have water here at the little memorial. And the Johnny even said that we could simply, very easily, there's enough pressure here, he used big enough of a hose that we could actually run a sprinkler over in the summer months and kind of sprinkle across the pond just to kind of help with the aeration and all of that kind of stuff. Okay, so our water now is 300 feet closer to our little family cemetery and the memorial garden here behind me. Oh my gosh, you can see the camera. A good project, and we're blessed to have people like Mr. Johnny in our life. You guys go to Google and give him a good review. You know, whenever you put a review into Google, it actually puts his name a little bit higher on the list whenever people begin to search for plumbers in our area. So thank you so much, Mr. Johnny, and thank you all to the supporters of the page to help us do projects like this one over here to make our lives and the lives of these babies here behind me so much greater. And I am so sorry about that sun glare. That's why we wear caps, and that, my friends, is why we wear caps.